Okay, here we are. We're live. And today has been a day where, everybody is going and everybody is busy. So I got my niece on today. We're just gonna talk today. We just welcome you to the Biz Hub midday week with the masters. And we have I was just telling her that yesterday was a day for me, was just so because I lost my cell phone. It was a day of hitting and not realizing that everything that I do, every contact that I have, every business idea that I have, my emails, my everything was on that cell phone. And I was so miscabulated. My mind was just so in stress and everything because I thought I left it at one place and then it wasn't there. And then I thought I left it at another place. And so I had everybody looking. And I feel like I was in a pandemic with my phone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you know, and I was at a panic. I was just so frustrated. I was praying, I was asking God, and I was saying, how did I get? And that's why I want you to talk about how did I get so connected, so at a place where this was my life. This little thing here called a cell
Mm-hmm.
phone that I
Mm-hmm.
got so
Mm-hmm.
it handled my life. It handled
Yes.
it scheduled my life. It does everything for me. How did I get so attached to that?
Right. But we're all in that place, and you go through a state of panic when you lose it. I have literally lost my phone in a work bag. And because I was so panicked, I kept overlooking it. And it was in the bag. And I'm everywhere. And I've got a team of people. I got the search and rescue team out helping me. Just like you said, look for this phone. And you feel like almost you joke around and it's like, people say, oh, don't leave your phone. And I would make comments, oh, I'm not going to go too far because I'll start breathing funny. And I say that in a joking manner, but it's really true. All our lives are so inundated into this one phone. And it's like, when did this happen? It's been over a span. It's just been a gradual. I don't even know how gradual it's been, but it's been over a span for at least about 20 years to where we went from knowing numbers by heart, writing stuff
Mm,
down, writing lists down on in planners and in calendars and on sheets of paper. Everything is in our phone. Everything, pictures, family contacts. I would have to think about my mother's number, and that's sad to say. Whereas years ago, you knew numbers by heart. I mean, it'll come to me after a while, but it takes us out of this. It's just like, okay, everything is right here, and I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to remember anything because it's all right here. I can set the alarm. The alarm's going to go off to remind me of this and remind me of that. But what if it doesn't? And what if you can't find it? Then what? Then
mhm.
what are we going to do? And so we move on through life just so busy, 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 doing everything, everything, everything. And we don't take pauses sometimes to just like sit back, readjust, reevaluate what's going on, and getting rid of some things that don't serve us, coming up with B plans to things. We literally need a B plan for our phone, and we don't have it. They say you can back stuff up on your computer and in your iCloud. I don't know how to do any of that stuff.
I know. Right. Here I am. I'm going, how do you do that? How do you back
Right.
stuff up? So that's the first thing somebody said. Well, why are you
Right.
panicking? Because you back stuff up. I said, I did. I do.
Did
So how,
I? Right.
did
Did
I
I?
do that? So I don't
Right.
know. Did I
And
do
where
that?
is it?
They said, well, you got. I said, girl, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do that. Is it a button you push or do it automatically happen? They said, no, you have to make sure you download it to there. I said, what? So I'm panicking on, I didn't do that. I don't know if I did that or not, and so I'm going, okay, calm down. It's just a phone.
But is it?
I said, calm down. It's just a phone. And then this other little voice on the other side of me said, that's your life.
That's your
What are you talking about? It's not just a phone. All of your codes, all of your everything is in
everything.
there. And my girlfriend and I had always said, we're going to get this hard copy that we're going
Uh-huh.
to put everybody's phone number in.
Right. Right.
and everybody addresses and all our
Right.
codes in. Well, I
Emails and codes and
emails.
yes, everything. Yeah.
I never did that. I never did that.
No. We
And
don't even
and
have to remember passcodes. The phone assign us in.
and if you ask me my aunt's number, if you can ask me my aunt's number, I can say her number from 50 years ago, what I
Right.
learned when I was a kid. And
Right.
my cousins still have my aunt's number there in Alabama. So I
Okay.
was in Alabama 3 weeks ago and I said, oh man, I need to call my cousin. And so I went to reach for my phone. I said, oh, I know it. And I just started, dialing
Yes.
it. And she said, hello. I said, man, this is crazy. I remember that number still.
Right. Right.
So if we
Right.
don't put it in,
No.
it's
No.
not coming out. If
It's
we
not
really,
coming out.
it's not coming out. And I just realized, even with the planner, I'm doing a planner for entrepreneurs and business owners. And so one of the things I do have in that planner is I have a hard copy for you to put a hard copy of your numbers in there, you
Okay.
know. Also, so I'm going, okay, that was a good thing that I put in that planner
Right.
is to
Right.
make sure that you have some of your business contacts in that planner. Now you just can't lose that planner.
Can't lose the planner.
Can't
Right.
lose the
You
can't
got to
lose the
remember where
planner.
you put the
You
planner.
can
Right. You
lose
got
the
to
phone, but you better not use the planner because you got
no.
everything in your planner. And
Yes.
so moving on, I'm going, how do I do? I'm thinking, my mind is thinking about doing something else with that planner so it can have a backup plan with your planner. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going, you know what, I need, yeah, they got the clouds, but they need to give me a dummy
A
for
dummy tutorial, a dummy for the
yeah, for
class on how to do
clouds,
the clouds.
how to do the how to do the clouds. So I
Yes.
need that because I realize that we as business owners and pastors, we have people who always do things for us.
Right.
And in
Right.
this pandemic, I don't have two armor bearers. I don't have a
Right.
secretary that I can call and say, "Oh, I need you to do this or do that,"
Right.
or say, text this or do that or post this. I don't
Right.
have
Yeah.
all that.
You can't delegate. You got to
Can't
delegate to
delegate. I
yourself
have
now.
to
Mm-hmm.
do some of that stuff myself. And as a business owner, I can just walk in and tell a manager, "Oh, I need for you to do so and so. I need you to order so and so and so, or I need this, or find up the ID for this or that." I
Right.
can't walk in there and do that right now. I have to either look it up myself, text
Mm-hmm.
them, call them to
Mm-hmm.
to to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it have pushed us in a place where we don't rely on so much of other people.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I
We have to
used
be self-reliant and use our own internal resources that we have pushed off that we instinctively had because we know to delegate it to somebody. So we have
yeah,
done the task. We have done the
yeah,
task, but we've gotten away from it because we don't
yeah,
have to. So it's bringing us back to self-reliancy, back to your own resources. And it's nothing wrong with having people to be able to delegate stuff to, but it's almost like a tune up, like a checkup to keep you grounded and balanced so that when we do have times like these and you can't go to other people, we aren't in a tailspin of what to do because we've been so out of practice of doing it for ourselves.
yeah. And I, my thing is that if I did pray that morning, I sure prayed then. I got in a prayer mode that I'm telling you, I had a prayer meeting all by myself. I had praise and worship. I had testimony service. I had it all, Lord Jesus.
You had the whole
You I had whole church service. I even had an altar call.
You took it to the altar for the
I
sick and
took it to
shut
the
in,
altar.
the building
I
fund
had an
fund,
altar call.
everything.
I did it all. I asked God. I pleaded. I played. I prayed. And I praised Him. And when I got it, I danced and I praised Him. My girlfriend Deborah, she was standing up. She was hollering, "Oh, thank you, Jesus! Oh, Lord, we thank you, Lord. We appreciate, Lord, you answer prayers." You know, and so we have to get to that point where we realize that, hey, God is God. and he
He
do
is.
answer prayers, and we do have to ask him. We do have to rely on him for the
Mm-hmm.
next step, for the next thing. And even with Deborah Book, ask God. I found myself asking God, you
Right.
know, for this phone. And then I started repenting. Lord, did I put that phone before you? God, if I
Right.
put
Right.
anything before you, I repent right now.
Right.
My
Right.
job, my business, my
Right.
everything, and whatever I put before you, I'm sorry. And I'm
Yes.
just going through the thing. I'm telling you, I
Going
had
through
a
the motions.
full
I know it.
blast
I know it. I know
church
it.
service and everything because I have to depend on him to make that next move or to make
Yep.
things. Someone called me and I couldn't answer the phone. I could hear them on because then I said, well, maybe I can just refer to my iPad.
Right. Right. And you can do certain things on there. You can do some things. You can
Yeah.
text people, and say, hey,
But I didn't know
or
that. I
email.
didn't look. I
Yes.
didn't know what all I could do with this iPad, and I had spent $1,000 on this iPad and don't even know how to turn it on good.
Yes. Yes.
Because it wasn't like the one that I had before, and so it looked foreign to me, and I'm trying to learn it, but I have
Right.
not taken time to sit down
Mm-hmm.
and learn that. So I
Mm-hmm.
finally hear my iPad ring. So it rings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going, oh,
Yes.
it
Yes.
rings. It's my daughter, and she's FaceTiming me. And I said,
Uh-huh.
oh God. I said, okay, call my phone to see. And she said, what are you doing? You're having a panic attack about
Having
something?
a pet.
It's
Yes.
my phone. And I said, and then you FaceTime me and I could do FaceTime with you. She said,
Yes.
you can message on your iPad
Yes.
and you can talk to anybody else that's in your system on your
Right. That
iPhone.
has an iPhone.
I
Mm-hmm.
said, what? She said,
Yep.
Mom, everything is on your iPad. If you got
It,
it on
it,
your
it syncs. It
iPhone.
got on your phone. It syncs.
She
All your
said,
contacts, your emails,
yeah,
all of
she said, so why are you panicking? I said, because I didn't know that. I said, okay, I
it.
didn't know that. I'm panicking. I'm praying. I'm just going all out. And I said, I didn't know that. She said, you got everything that's on your phone is automatically on your iPad. And I'm
Yeah.
going, whoo, thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
When you don't know, you don't know,
Yep. Yep.
and it's the
Yep.
problem with us, the lack of not knowing and refusing. I'm telling you, I kick and scream, refusing to come into the 21st century with these
Mm-hmm.
iPhones and
Mm-hmm.
computers and
Mm-hmm.
and not learning things. But I thank God that and Facebook Live, I'm learning
Oh, it
how to
froze us
do
up.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning how to do that. So
Yep.
I'm asking God, I'm asking, give me the ability and strength that I need to move forward
Mm-hmm.
as the age that I am and
Mm-hmm.
learn more of how I have to pivot in this moment to do business
Mm-hmm.
because
Exactly.
I can't do business like I used to do. I had
No.
this discussion with a friend of mine yesterday who's in business in the hair business, and we was discussing how just customer service, how it's
Mm-hmm.
not like it used to be,
Mm-mm.
and look, you go to customer service and you think you're going to have service and be service. It used to be the customer is always right, always help the
Mm-hmm.
customer, please the customer, and all state please the customer. Well, I
Mm-hmm.
went to some place and it was an all state get the customer out of here because we're not going to get the customer anything, no matter what she
Mm-hmm.
asks. You bought it, that's your loss. You bought it as
Mm-hmm.
is. I
Mm-hmm.
said, no, I didn't buy it as is. I bought it in the box, hoping that it would work and everything, and it doesn't work when you
Mm-hmm.
still bought it as is. So if it's not working, we don't have a repair department. Well, give me my money back. Oh,
Right.
we don't do refunds. Well, where is it written up here that there is no refund on anything that I purchased? Ma'am,
Right.
I got somebody behind you that needs to be helped. Oh,
Right. Excuse
customers,
me.
yeah, customer service is all out the door. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going, okay, I got to get a mental state on how to pivot in this moment of the pandemic and even how to keep the moral standards of customer service or even just having my mindset ready to deal with a customer, to even
Right.
deal with somebody in life. We
Right.
come we wake up every morning. Every morning is a new day, as the word of God says, a new day, new mercy, new glory. But we wake up every morning with all the old things that happened to us yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
how do we deal with them today?
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, um, oftentimes when we look at, so going back to your first thing that you talked about in terms of how you fought coming into the 21st century with all the different technologies and things like that, we look at this stuff as being overwhelming. And in a essence, it is. In a sense, it's overwhelming because it's very new. It sounds like a different language a little bit. And so what we do, instead of saying, okay, let me just block out a little bit of time to learn this one thing, so if you look at your business and your scope of what you need to learn, so if it's okay, how am I going to navigate around FaceTiming, or how am I going to navigate around backing my information up, or whatever the case may be. And so you block out a little bit of time and say, okay, I'm going to learn how to do this. So make a list of the things that and sometimes we don't know to know, okay?
Mm.
But sometimes we don't know to know certain things. But as you start to delve and learn certain pieces, then the dots they kind of start to connect. Okay, so now that you know this, then this is another part that you may need to learn. This is another part that you need to learn. But instead of looking at this whole big picture and being overwhelmed, like, okay, I don't know how to do this, and I don't know how to do this, and I don't know how to do this, and I don't know how to do that. Break it down, compartmentalize it so that it's not overwhelming, and learn one task that week. Learn one different functionality or something that week. Get an understanding to it. Take your notes, write it down. Don't feel sometimes we don't ask questions because we feel like it's a dumb question. And the old saying, there's never any dumb questions. But if we don't know, then we don't know. And so we're not equipped to know everything. So it's not a dumb question. It's more detrimental to not know some information, but you feel ashamed of asking it, so you don't ask, than to just ask it. And if it's a dumb question to that person, then fine. Okay, so you got the smarts to give it to me because I need to know it. I need to know
Mm.
what to do, instead
Mm.
of just not asking it because oh, I should probably know this and this is done. We're not equipped to know everything. Everybody's not equipped to know everything. That's why you have different people in places that have understandings and different understandings. So ask the questions. Ask the questions, and
Yeah,
ask them 2 and 3, 4 times if you need to, and
yeah.
write it down and make yourself a little instructional thing. Okay, so I go to settings. Okay, now I go to I go to general. Then I go to a login process or whatever, and write it down step by step and learn it and get familiar with it and practice it, and then go on to the next thing that you want to learn, so that it's not so overwhelming. And sometimes we have to look at things, and I use different analogies for things, but I know myself now, if it was for me finding some shoes or some clothes online, you couldn't stop me for nothing. I know how to find it. I know how to get to it. I know how to work it out and figure it out. Okay, so now I take those same principles and let me apply it to learning something else that's going to be beneficial for me in my professional life and all those other things, versus just this material world of things, that doesn't matter. And so it just takes time. And once we take that first step and we just go ahead and do it instead of putting it off, and then you realize, I've been stressing out about this all this time and it wasn't even that hard. It wasn't even that big of a deal. But it's really just
Yeah,
taking the first step. But
yeah, I
but
think
break it
so.
down. Don't make so many first steps, because then that makes it overwhelming.
I think you're right about that, because that's what it's been for me, is to, because and then I try to blame it on my age. You do the age thing. You say, well, my age group, we're not used to this, or this is something new, and I bring it to my age. But
But
I'm
you're
really,
22, remember?
yeah, that 22 for the fourth time. So,
Right.
so the thing is that I bring it on. I bring it on that. I bring it on my age group, and I bring it on. What I can't do a certain things because of my age group, or because something done happened to me or something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I realize, even at being the age that we are, we still have to learn how to pivot. We still have to learn the
Mm-hmm.
things that's necessary for us to move forward in this 21st
Mm-hmm.
century. If
Mm-hmm.
not, we're going to be left behind. And I
We are.
realize a lot of pastors get in that place where they don't understand how to move into that part, even with the
Mm-hmm.
membership, how to move into that part. And I see a lot of business owners the same way,
Mm-hmm.
and my prayer is that they won't let this pandemic close their shop, close their mind from
Mm-hmm.
pivoting and moving on. If they had the
Right.
mindset and the genius to go into business, then they
Mm-hmm.
need to ask God to give them the intellect and the stuff, or give them a mentor, give them
Right.
somebody who's doing something in this season and really advancing in this season, just because of pandemic, or just because of virus, just because something attacked or hit us in our business. We wake up with that every day. The
Every
plumbing
day.
may the plumbing may have bursted or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up with those decisions that you have to make. Even firing someone that you know is not coming to job and doing their best,
Right.
and just not showing up on time, even to making those harsh decisions. So this is just another. It was something that Mr. Dudley said in his book, is that I'm a person with no problems. I wake up and I have no problems. Every day I wake up, there may be situations, he says,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but they're not a problem to me.
Mm-hmm.
They just a
Mm-hmm.
present challenge. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
going, whoa, it's
That's a
just a
great way to look
present,
at it. It's
it's
just a
just a
perspective. It's
present challenge.
shifting perspectives.
Yes.
To know that these are things such as life. Like, so before we even started recording, I said, sometimes you just got to take those lemons as they come, because they're going to come. It's
Yeah.
such as life, and it's
Yeah.
all in how you look at it. But I want to go back to one thing. Who are our biggest supporters in terms of this technology thing? Like you said, your daughter called you. It's our children. It's my son. He's 24. He'll be 25 this year. I call upon him all the time. I'm like, son, how do I do this? My mother, his grandmother, calls him all the time. Grandson, I need to figure out, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this with my phone and do this and that. And they will help you. And they will
Mm-hmm.
talk you through it. And they're not going to make you feel silly about it. Or they may, but it'll be a joking around thing. But they will help you. They will take the time out and walk you through and let you know this is how you do it, because it's easy for them. And but things that were easy for us, if we flip reverses and they went back 20 years with us, they'd be like, what am I supposed to
Well,
do?
oh yeah.
I don't know
Oh
what.
yeah.
So it's the same. We've just reversed. they
Yeah.
they they, they couldn't navigate through some of the things that we went through, that we could do in our sleep.
Well,
So
that's my 6 year old. I wanted to take a picture of
uh-huh.
us, and I wanted everybody in the picture. And she said, I said, well, I want everybody in the picture. If she over there taking the picture, then she said, oh, Nemo. She
Put it
fixed
on
the
timer.
iPhone and she put it on time. I said, why did you do
Yeah. Put it right on timer. Everybody can line up. You can space it if you need a minute to get everybody together, and then a
that? So
countdown for you. You see a countdown in the corner.
I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to do that. So I'm trying to show my 83-year-old and my 79-year-old cousins how to do this. I'm gonna take a picture outside with them. And I said, I don't know what I'm doing. And so they said, well, it keep taking you, look like you keep putting it on. But it was taking me. I said, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I just found this out yesterday. So I'm trying to work it on you guys today. It's not working for me. But practice
You didn't
make
take your notes. You got to take your
I
notes.
didn't have my notes. But practice, you got to continue to practice a thing. You got to continue to do it, and don't let your first failure make
Right.
it be. One of the things Mr. Dr. Douglas say too, that you can't add loss to loss, and that is
Mm-hmm.
so true. You can't add loss to loss.
Because you got nothing.
Just because you fail this time, it doesn't mean that you're going to fail the next time. And even if
Mm-hmm.
you fail 20 times, it still doesn't mean that the 21st time you're not going to be a winner. So just keep trying.
Keep
I re-
trying. Keep
yeah,
trying.
I
Keep getting
remember
back up.
my deceased husband, and he used to say all the time that when he worked for Philip and Brush Company, he said Mr. Fuller used to tell them that if you go out there and you knock on 10 doors and it's no at every 10, go to the 11th door because it may be a
Mm-hmm.
yes. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's all we're saying today is just don't allow the failures or the things that happen to you in life stop you,
Right.
or the problem that shows up, something that you haven't learned in this season that you need to learn. Don't let it stop you from progressing on. Don't
Mm-hmm.
let that be the end of it. So like you said,
Mm-hmm.
do a backup plan. you
Yep.
know we
And then backup plan to the backup plan. Sometimes.
Sometimes you got to do a backup to the backup. So yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, you do.
write it down.
Mm-hmm.
I like to record things, and sometimes I record prayers, I record different things, and one day I hit delete before, and I didn't mean to hit delete. But
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that even though I hit delete, it was over there in the trash pile.
Yes, yes, it's in your deleted folder. You have a deleted
Yeah, that
folder that
I
you can
can
go
go
to.
and
Yes. And
recover it.
recover it. Yes. And it stays there for 30 days. I think it might be a little bit longer than that. And it'll show you, I don't know if you know this part, but it'll show you how many days you have left on something that you deleted before it is permanently deleted.
I think what we need to do on the Biz Hub one day is probably get someone in to do a tutorial service
Yes.
on your
Technology
on
on your,
tech, a tech person, how
yes.
to load stuff on your clouds, how to
Yeah.
do this, how to do other little things, tech
Right.
stuff, because that's where we at, in
Mm-hmm.
this time, and because even your doctor's appointment now, it's some
Everything.
yes, your doctor's appointment. I said, how in the world they're gonna examine me, or how in the world are they gonna get information off of me through the a Zoom meeting,
Yeah, yeah, do telehealth. That's what it's
and I'm
called.
going,
It's telehealth.
what is wrong? And,
Yeah.
and so I was telling somebody, I said, I've been having these little issues and everything. And they said, well, you need to go get you an Apple Watch. I said,
Mm-hmm.
what is that? You know,
Yeah.
I said, what is a phone? A phone watch?
Your phone, yeah, you can answer it and everything from the
And
watch.
they said, yeah, you can answer, but it also take your blood pressure. It also take your breathing. And also if you're
And your heart
exercising,
rate and your
take
heart
your
and your
height
steps,
rate and take your, if
everything.
you weigh it, it'll take you, it'll take how, whether you had a good heart sleep or light sleep,
Yep.
or
Yep. Track
how
your
long
sleep, everything.
you
Uh-huh.
sleep, and stuff like that. And I said, what? I said, that's
Yes.
just too much. I said, that's just too much. But then I thought about it. I said, man, I need that. You know, I,
Mm-hmm.
I, I really, I really need to know my heart rate. I need to know the
Yes.
oxygen, because when I have those little episodes, I always go on my girlfriend, well, your auntie, she always come and she check everything to see, okay, how's your
Uh-huh.
heart rate? How's your oxygen? How's this? How's your, and so those are the things that we need as we get older, or
Yep.
as we exercise a lot. We do
Mm-hmm.
need to know what we can and cannot do, and how's our
Mm-hmm.
heart rate, how's our breathing. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we're not sleeping good at night, and we need to know,
Right.
okay, you're not getting enough sleep. Maybe that's why you're tired. So I'm not
Mm-hmm.
pushing the Apple Watch, but I'm just
No,
saying,
but no, but and there's others, not just the Apple Watch. They have other technologies that's not
yeah, but
that's
I'm
as
just
far
saying it's
that you can
those
do it.
technology that we need, and
Mm-hmm.
even with insulin now, so everything. So yes, we do need somebody to come on and talk that tech talk to people,
Mm-hmm.
because even in the restaurant business now, I'm noticing how before I closed the pizza place down, I noticed that all this new tech that they was bringing us, that we can have the customer can be on the outside and order by touching the screen and
Uh-huh.
order everything. And I thought, man, this is the coolest thing. I don't have to interact, you know,
Right.
with
Right.
somebody acting crazy. They
Right.
can just put their orders in, and all I do is just fix it and ship it to them. And
That's right.
and,
And if
and
it's wrong, then they entered it in wrong. If the order's
there
not right,
they
it's on there.
right. If it's wrong, they entered it in wrong. And so I said, oh, I like that. I love it. I love it. And so, and now I saw that about 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
when I first was introduced to that, touch ordering with some ice cream in Georgia. But
Okay.
now I'm seeing McDonald's, I'm seeing Wendy's in different places. I was in the airport, and the airport had it with several places and stuff. So it technology, whether we want to catch up with it and learn it.
It's happening. Whether we're gonna get on the train with it, it's gonna take off without us because it's not
Even at
stopping.
even at the bank, they say, "Ma'am, would you like to do this?" And I go, "No, I don't want to do that." And so I went in the bank the other day. There was no one up there to show me or ask me that I like to do it. And I'm standing in line I'm waiting on somebody to come, a clerk to come.
Yeah,
And
right.
so the lady
To,
came
to
from out
take
of her
your regular deposit slip and all of the
lady
old
came out of the
fashioned way.
lady came out of the cubicle, and she said, "You have is something wrong?" I said, "I'm waiting on someone to come." And she said, "Oh no." She said that the machines are right there. I'm going, no, no.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
yes,
You
we
don't
were
even have
like,
to go into the bank. You can take a picture of the check right at your house
yes.
and upload it, and the bank's gonna verify it in its deposit, and you can go ahead and tear that check up and shred it. You don't even have to go. You don't
I'm
even
not
have
able to
to go.
go
Just
now.
take the picture of the
So
front and the back, and they will verify it and deposit the funds the next day or whatever.
it's there. And I'm going, oh my goodness. I just, so yes, we do. We are so reliant on this. So we have to
Mm-hmm.
find that backup plan because we're relying more and more and more. They're taking that comfort zone away from us more
Yep.
and more and more. And they're taking that privilege, and they're taking that customer
And that
service,
middleman, the
and that
middleman, so to
and that
speak.
middleman away.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't learn how to, but something my husband, my deceased husband said years ago, he said that if you don't learn how to change with the times will change anyway.
They're gonna
Whether
change.
you change or not, the
Mm-hmm.
times will change anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And you can
Mm-hmm.
kick and scream. I'm telling you, I kicked and I
Yep.
screamed.
Yep.
But I realized I had to learn how to do emails. I'm gonna have to learn how to do text messages. I'm gonna have to learn how to take this phone because it was good for us to just stop on the side of the road and make a phone call when you need to make a
Right.
phone call.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Right. You don't even see payphones anymore.
Uh,
You
uh,
rarely
uh,
ever see you.
no. I came here
And
20
then if
years
you
ago.
do, it's gonna take like $1 just to if you
Well,
do see the payphones.
I came,
It's requiring a
yeah,
lot of money.
yeah. I came here 20 years ago, and the payphones was just being deleted then. But I
Mm-hmm.
also realized in certain areas there were not payphones. There was a shell of where a payphone was. And
Right.
in the
Right.
hood, there was a
Right.
shell where the
Right.
payphone
Right.
was, but
Where it
you could
used to
not.
be.
It wasn't working. It wasn't there,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But over in the suburb, you can stop and you can make a phone call, because some of
Mm-hmm.
them are still there. But now there is no payphone, and people are really getting out of having phones in their house. They use their
Yes.
cell phones
Cell
as
phone.
their
Mm-hmm.
regular phone and
Mm-hmm.
things. So yeah, we as people are getting away from some of the things, and we have to learn that our dependency is on God, no matter what.
Yes. No matter what, first and foremost,
First and
He
foremost,
is
our
the
dependency
head
is on
and the
God.
tail.
Yes, above and
Yes.
not beneath. Amen.
Yes.
But the thing is that you still gotta have that backup plan.
We gotta help God out. We gotta help him
You
out just a
gotta
little
have
bit.
that backup plan for technology. I prayed, and I asked God, and I pleaded with God, and He brought the phone back.
Yes.
No. And one person told me, well, because it was bedded in, because it was snowing here in Michigan yesterday. And so it was bedded in when I did find it. It was in the parking lot where I had dropped it at, and it was in
Under
water.
the snow. Oh.
And
So then you
so
had to put it in the rice. You had to soak it in the rice overnight?
was no, I didn't. Well, they told me to do, the phone that you have is not that kind that you can soak in the rice. It will just go back because it's a water, it's whatever, it's water
Okay.
repellent and all
Waterproof.
that.
Okay. 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 Okay.
So he said, you don't have to worry about that because that type of iPhone is waterproof and everything. So you don't have to worry
Okay.
about that.
Okay.
I said, oh, Jesus, because I was going go get me some white rice and put it in
Right.
white rice, and stuff. And so just a few minutes later, I plugged it in and got it some juice, got it charged up, and it worked.
Uh-huh.
And it
Uh-huh.
worked. So, we thank God for that. But like I said, we still need, like you said, we still need that backup. We need that backup
Mm-hmm.
or that backup plan. That
Mm-hmm.
A, B. I tell everybody all the time, you need an A, B, and C,
That's
D,
right.
F, G, H, I, J, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R,
QRS,
S,
TUV,
T,
WXY, and Z.
Z, plan. You need a plan. A man without a plan will always fail. So you need a plan for your business, a plan to back up plan, a strategy plan for everything that you have. I remember having a meeting one day with some leaders in the church, and this guy, he called himself a walking Bible and everything. So we was supposed to be bringing in reports, and so we was asked, "Where's your report?" He said, "I got it in my head." So my husband uh, my deceased husband said, "Well, I don't have it in my hand. In
Right.
your head doesn't mean I have it in my hand. It
Hand.
doesn't
Right.
do it doesn't do me any good with it
Right.
being in your head."
Right.
you know,
That doesn't do me any good. I need.
any
Can I?
good,
Can I get a paper copy of that, please?
you know. And so now we got to get it out of our head, put it in our text message, or put it in an email, or
Right.
put it in our cloud
Right. 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 For
to
real.
to make sure that we have a backup plan for what you're getting ready to do. It just don't stay in your head. I'm doing a letter that I got to do, and so I'm writing and putting all these parts together to it. And so someone said, "Well, what is to propose? What is your proposal?" And I said,
Mhm.
"Well, I got to put it all together, so I can
Right. I
so
got to
I
get it
can
out of my head.
gotta get it out of my head, gotta get it out of text message, and gotta get it off the
Off the email.
email, and
Out of my
put it in
notepad.
out my notepads and put it in one place so I can send it to you.
Right.
And and she said, "Well, why didn't you just put it all and why didn't you just drop it all over?" I said, "Then I see, that's something I don't know how to do yet. So,
Right.
I
Right.
gotta get tutored on that. So that's why I was in 99 places until I learned how to drop it in one place and
Right.
have it there. So the
But didn't know how to
technology,
get to that place. Didn't know how to, because our phones, they can be set up to where it automatically backs up to the cloud. Okay, so it will do that. And like iPads will tell you, like, so it'll do it if your phone's been, if you have 50% battery or needs to be plugged in or whatever, and it does its update and it'll back up. Let's say you don't use your iPad all the time, and then you can open it up and it'll give you a notification, say this device has not been backed up in 3 weeks, in four
yeah,
weeks.
yeah.
Okay, all that's fine. But how do I get to the backup? Where is, how do I, because I know it goes to your laptop somewhere, some kind of way. Okay, fine, my phone backed it up for me, but where is the backup and how do I retrieve said backup?
Yes,
It
yeah.
can be backed up all day long, but if I don't know where the
If I
backup
don't know
is,
how to get to the backup, it ain't backed up.
it
Well,
ain't gonna do me no
I'm
good.
gonna tell you what I do. I go call somebody. Okay, how do I get to my backup? So my son is this tech whiz that work for this huge bank, and so
Okay.
I'll call him and say, I need to know how to do something. So he said, okay, I charge $2.75 an hour. I said $2.50 an hour.
No, no.
I said $2.50. I can pay $2.50 an hour. He said, no, mom, I charge $275 an hour for to do any tech work. I said, boy, if you don't take
Boy,
over my phone,
I brought
over
you
my
in this world. You
over,
better
over
get,
this computer and stuff and do what I need to do.
don't tell me I got credit in the bank with you, boy.
Right. So I'm telling you, knowledge is powerful. Knowledge
Is,
is powerful.
really is.
And
It really
knowledgeable
is.
is what you have. Knowledge is payable. People will pay you for
Yes.
your knowledge. I said, people really
Yes.
pay you 275 for what you know? He said,
Yes.
yeah. I said,
Yes.
what? But people will pay you for knowledge. So,
They will pay
you
you
know,
for service. They will pay you for knowledge. here's the thing, and I talk about this all the time, and I don't know where I learned. Sometimes I'm full of random information, but I don't know where I learned this from. So when you go back talking about like customer service and at the restaurants and things like that, but tips was an acronym, and it stood for to ensure proper service. So tips used to be given in the beginning of the meal, not at the end. So you go to a restaurant, you would give the server their tip first because it was to ensure proper service. So you were paying for them to service you the way you would expect to be serviced in this establishment. Yeah. No, it's
I
true.
love
But
that.
somewhere along the way,
It got on the end of
it got on the end
because
instead of
we
the
probably
beginning.
got bad. We probably started getting bad
Right,
service.
get the best, right. Like, give me my tip back.
Give me my tip back. You never did come back to fill up my water.
I'm still waiting on my water. I'm still
Waiting
waiting
on
on
my
you to bring
food.
some extra napkins.
A friend of mine was at a restaurant the other day and he said, I've been waiting here for 3 hours. I said, oh no, no way in the world. I would be
Go
waiting there for 3 hours to eat. And he said, I paid for my food. I said, oh no, I will ask for my money back. I said, no.
right.
I said, no, I'll be waiting for I give my money back. I said, that food must be mighty good. He said, no, I'm just mighty hungry. I said, what?
You can't be that hungry, not for
No,
three
I said,
hours.
because I could have went to the 7-Eleven and fill up off the 7-Eleven
And
jar.
got a Snickers and
And
got a Snickers or something.
I said,
I could
I
have made a
said,
whole 5 course. I could have went to the grocery store,
right.
came
And
home, and made me a whole meal in 3 hours.
yes. And he said, the food is good. I said, oh no, 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 no. I don't think I would have waited 3 hours to get my meal, you
Listen,
know.
this is gonna
I
have to be the type of food that I can consume, and it's so good, and I'm not gonna get any calories of fat from it. I will wait 3 hours for
something gotta be in there.
something,
But
something
customer
got to be in
service
there.
is gone out of the door. And yes, we can say that people have to wait longer to get served because there's less staff now.
Mhm.
It's less waiting staff now than they do have. So I do understand that. But when it comes to the point that I gotta sit there in the pandemic for 3 hours to get a meal, I don't think I want it.
No,
I don't think
no.
I want it, or I'll tell you, okay, drop it by my house when it's ready. Cause
Well, you halfway into another meal. You halfway into another meal time. 3 hours. You
yeah,
halfway into
that's
time.
a
If that
little
was lunch, you halfway in time to. It's about this time to have dinner here soon.
that's a
Like,
little but you know
yeah,
what
that's
I'm
long.
really finding out that some of these fast food restaurants are learning how to really pivot with 3 and 4 lines now.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Mm-hmm.
person that I know, chicken fillet has it
Oh
down
yeah. Oh yeah. Chick-fil-A.
to
Oh, they got it, and
chicken
it's so they
fillet.
so they're so efficient.
I just have to give the kudos to them because chicken fillet has it down so packed and so good. Now McDonald's need to learn from chicken fillet.
Oh, right,
You
right, and
know,
they right, they will not take on Chick-fil-A's model for nothing. McDonald's customer service, I mean, they don't want to give you any napkins. The ice cream machine ain't working. The line, they make you got to
and it's
pull up and wait for them to bring the food out.
but they're following a system because it's like that in every state. So they're
Right? Yeah,
and you
yeah, they
do
have
have
their
to
own format.
they have their own format and they have a system. And so I'm realizing that a system is imperative for your business is to have a system and have a good system.
And
And
efficient,
sometimes you have
effective.
to change the system to perfect the system.
Mm-hmm.
And all, but I'm saying that chicken fillet is the only one that I went through the fast foods who have
Mm-hmm.
really got this down packed and they have it. And I was so impressed that I was in Chicago and went through one. I
Mm-hmm.
was in North Carolina and went through one. I was in Florida and went through one.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Alabama last week and went through one.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you know what? This is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
guys got this down pat in
Yep.
every place, you know,
Yep.
every place.
Yep.
I went to two different ones in St. Augustine and in Jacksonville, Florida. and they operate the same.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago operate the same, and you can expect your meal when you go through there. Now, I've tried that at McDonald's, and I really don't go there a lot, but I tried that at McDonald's, and it's not as consistent as chicken fillets is.
No, and you know what else they do? So so you think about McDonald's. McDonald's for the most part is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for the most part. All the other restaurants. Chick-fil-A closes at 10 and they are not open on Sundays. They have
Right.
a reset time. They have a
Yeah.
time to nobody has to work on that day. Nobody's for whatever reason that the franchise and the ownerships have that in place, whether it's religious reasons, whatever. Either way, though, even if their employees don't follow that doctrine, that same thing, but it still allows you. That's a reset day. They have a day to step away. They close. They shut the time of operation off. They have business hours, so
Mm-hmm.
that in that time, I'm sure they're looking at, okay, what's working, what's not working, or
Mm-hmm.
we're just resting right
Mm-hmm.
now. And so that we can start fresh again. Our employees don't have to have this bad attitude. They don't have to worry about whether they're gonna get this late shift. They don't have to worry about if they gonna have to work on the Sunday and they need to take it off for their own reason. They don't have to worry about it. They
And they do,
eliminate.
and they do have they do, and I was watching the same thing at Popeye's Chicken. They do have a better attitude, a more
Mm-hmm,
cheerful attitude,
mm-hmm, yeah,
about life and about things. I don't understand it why. And I'll tell you something, Starbucks is the same way. Starbucks,
mm-hmm,
I can go there, I can order what I need. They got a friendly smile, they're talking,
yeah,
their
yeah.
their coffee tasting the same
Mm-hmm.
wherever
It's
I go.
consistent.
It's
It's consistent.
consistent
Consistency.
on
It's
the
consistent.
taste. Even the
Yep.
even the pastries are the
Yep.
same.
They're the same. They're consistent. You don't have to worry about you gonna get a bad one. You're not gonna get a bad batch of fries from Chick-fil-A. You're not gonna get a bad batch of sweet tea. It's
Yeah,
the same. It's
yeah,
consistent.
yeah. It's
Yes.
consistent, and I appreciate the owners and I appreciate the business model. So what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying is this is that we have to have a system. We have to
Mm-hmm.
have a system that we train, literally train your employees on that system.
Mm-hmm.
And if the owner doesn't vary from it, then the rest of them won't vary from it. So
Right.
you as leaders and lead roles have to make sure that that's your passion. That is it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we
Mm-hmm.
may be in the 21st century, we don't have to change our system and we don't have to change our customer service. We don't have to change those things. We can still
Right.
serve our customer at the best part of it.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be years ago that the customer was always right. The customer was always had you would give it to them. You wouldn't argue.
Right.
You would give it to them. I remember one day at the pizza place, I had made this small pizza, and the lady came in, she was a little tipsy, and we had the pizza for 1.99, a small personal pizza for 1.99, but it was only one topping on it. She ordered four toppings, and I said, so it's not going to be 1.99 because you've ordered four toppings, and so it is 25 cents on a small pizza for you going up like that. I said, so you already at almost $5, you might as well order a medium pizza. So she cussed me out, and I said, do you want the personalized pizza? And she said, yeah, I want it. But I wanted with what I ordered. I said, okay, no problem. I gave her that small pizza with all that on there. So she was fine. She walked out the door. She came back. Oh, baby, that was the best pizza I ever had. Thank you so much. So the next day, she wasn't high and she came
Mm-hmm.
in and she ordered the same thing. I
Mm-hmm.
said, you can't get that because you have only one item that you can do, not four that you can put on there. She said, you gave that to me yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I gave that to you yesterday.
You gave that to me yesterday
Mm-hmm.
and you had no problems with it. I said, you know what? I'm going to give that to you today, but I'm giving it to you. Now, when you come next time, you're going to have to purchase either a
Mm-hmm.
medium pizza, you're gonna have to go with that one item on that personalized pizza.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I
Or
did it
or
again.
pay or pay the 25 cents for the extra toppings. The
Yeah.
25 cents per topping.
So I did it again. A week later, she shows up a week later. She ordered the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
but she had two people with her.
Okay.
I said, oh no, this can't happen. You guys gonna
Mhm.
put me out of business if I keep doing this. Because now you're gonna tell the whole community that that's what I'm
Mhm.
doing. And
Mhm.
if you argue with me, you'll have it for 199. Not
Mhm.
happening. Done it too
Mhm.
many times, can't do it for you. And I said, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a large pizza together, and I'm gonna let you guys pay 199 each.
Right. Right.
And you all can have as many slices out of that you want to have out of that. You know,
Right.
didn't hurt me to give them the larger pizza for the same price that all of them was going to be paying for one.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
you have to
Right.
sometimes learn how to service your customers without ticking them off. So
Yes.
learn how to service your customers without ticking them off, but learn how to give them ways not hurting you as a business
Not hurting
owner,
you. Right.
and it's
Right.
not hurting them as a
Right.
customer coming in. So Tangent, we're gonna close out. So I'm gonna
Okay.
let you get one last thought, and then we're gonna close out for the day.
Well, you know what? The last thought is going to be the thought we have. We're going to work on compartmentalizing what we want to learn, and we're going to make backup plans for the backup plans. So then that way
Mm,
we aren't putting all this unnecessary stress on ourselves, worrying about things that we don't have to worry about. We're going to learn it, and we're going to move on, and we're going to
I
go
love
on to the
that.
next task. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
we're gonna say goodbye to you, good people,
Okay.
and thank you for showing up, my niece. And we're gonna thank everybody. We're gonna end this, and we're gonna say we